For 2,000 years, this organism was reserved for emperors. It did not grow in gardens. A 2003 study published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology documented over 400 bioactive compounds isolated from Ganoderma lucidum, making it one of the most chemically complex fungi ever catalogued. Ancient Chinese court records from the Han Dynasty explicitly listed it among substances accessible only to the imperial household, not because it was rare, but because those in power understood its value and chose to control access. Today, a single bottle of reishi extract sells for over $100. But the fungus itself grows silently on dying oaks, free to anyone who knows where to look. The system did not forget this mushroom. It monetized it. And somewhere in the process, something was quietly removed from the story. What was removed is the part that changes everything. Ganoderma lucidum is not a typical mushroom. It produces no spores designed for casual wind dispersal. Instead, it releases a fine, rust-colored powder, billions of basidiospores per fruiting body, in a single reproductive event that can last weeks. The fruiting body itself is woody, lacquered, almost architectural. It grows horizontally from the base of hardwood trees, usually oak, maple, or plum. The mycelium beneath can persist in the same host for decades. Unlike annual mushrooms, reishi is perennial in structure. It returns to the same wound in the same tree, year after year. No replanting required. No seasonal intervention. The organism simply persists. This biological stubbornness made it both revered and inconvenient for an industry that profits from dependency. Nature built a medicine that refuses to run out. The industry built a bottle to contain it. The earliest documented reference to Ganoderma lucidum appears in the Shenong Benkao Jing, the Divine Farmer's Materia Medica, compiled during the Han Dynasty, approximately 200 BCE. It was classified in the highest tier of medicinal substances. The text described it as promoting vitality, calming the mind, and extending lifespan with no toxic effects from long-term use. This classification system, superior, middle, inferior, placed reishi above most herbs and compounds in the entire pharmacopoeia. In Japan, it was called manantake, the 10,000-year mushroom. Taoist monks cultivated it near mountain temples. Medieval Chinese paintings depicted it in the hands of immortal figures. It was not merely medicine. It was a symbol of sovereignty over death itself. Empires rose and fell. The mushroom remained. 2,000 years of unbroken documentation represent a clinical trial no pharmaceutical company has ever matched in duration. Modern biochemistry has now identified the primary active compounds in reishi, triterpenoids and beta-glucans. Triterpenoids are bitter, structurally complex molecules found in the fruiting body's outer layer. Beta-glucans are polysaccharide chains located in the inner tissue and spores. A landmark 2006 study in Immunology Letters demonstrated that beta-glucans from Ganoderma lucidum activated natural killer cells in human immune assays. Natural killer cells are the immune system's first-line patrol, identifying and destroying abnormal cells before they can establish themselves. This is not folklore. This is peer-reviewed cellular biology. The triterpenoids, meanwhile, showed anti-inflammatory properties in multiple in vitro studies. The complexity of these compounds is precisely the problem for pharmaceutical development. A single reishi fruiting body contains hundreds of interacting molecules. Isolating one for patent protection destroys the synergy. The whole mushroom cannot be patented. That single fact redirected billions in research funding away from forests and into laboratories. The global adaptogen supplement market exceeded $20 billion in 2023. Reishi products represent one of its fastest-growing segments. Yet the raw organism, Ganoderma lucidum, grows without cultivation assistance across temperate forests on every inhabited continent. The supplement industry did not create this mushroom. It created the extraction process, the branding, the dosage capsule, and the $100 price point. What cannot be owned must be made inaccessible through complexity. The consumer is told they need a specific extraction ratio. They need verified polysaccharide percentages. They need laboratory certification. All of this may contain partial truth, but the underlying message is strategic. Do not trust the forest. Trust the bottle. The distinction between the mushroom and the supplement is, in most cases, a margin calculation. History has seen this pattern before. Ganoderma lucidum favors the bases of dead or dying hardwood trees in temperate climates. In North America, it appears most frequently on oak stumps from late summer through autumn. In East Asia, ancient cultivation records describe inoculating cut logs with wild spores, a technique documented as early as the Ming Dynasty. The fruiting body is immediately recognizable. A kidney-shaped cap with a glossy varnished surface ranging from deep red to mahogany brown. The underside is white or pale cream, covered in microscopic pores. No other common forest fungus shares this exact combination of features. It does not decompose quickly. A dried specimen can persist structurally for years. Medieval herbalists ground dried caps into powder using stone mortars. The same organism grows today at the base of park trees, cemetery oaks, and forest margins. It has never required human permission to exist. It simply waits. Between 2000 and 2023, over 700 peer-reviewed studies were published on Ganoderma lucidum compounds. The research clusters around four primary areas: immune modulation, anti-fatigue properties, sleep quality, and oxidative stress reduction. A 2012 randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of Medicinal Food found that participants who received reishi polysaccharide extract reported significantly reduced fatigue scores compared to placebo groups. A separate study in evidence-based complementary and alternative medicine documented improved sleep latency, the time required to fall asleep, in subjects receiving standardized reishi extract. These are not marginal findings. They represent consistent signals across independent research groups on multiple continents. Yet no major pharmaceutical company has pursued a reishi-based drug to clinical approval. The economics are straightforward. Natural compounds in the public domain generate no patent revenue. Research funding follows intellectual property, not efficacy. The mushroom continues to grow on schedule. The clinical trials do not. This is not a failure of science. It is a predictable outcome of a profit-driven research system. 2,000 years of imperial reverence did not make reishi precious because of scarcity. It made it precious because of knowledge. The knowledge of where it grew, when to harvest, and how to recognize genuine fruiting bodies was ancestral literacy. That literacy was not destroyed. It was simply replaced by a barcode. Every dried oak stump in a temperate forest is a potential site. Every autumn, the same lacquered caps emerge from the same root systems. The forest has not changed its offering. Only the intermediary has changed. The intermediary now charges $100 for what the forest provides without invoice. 2 millennia of human knowledge about this organism cannot be unseen once encountered. The mushroom is not rare. The awareness of it has been made rare. That is the only thing the supplement industry ever truly manufactured.